Being a game collector is like being a bird of prey. His eyes are finely tuned to spot even the most elusive cartridge. But the collector's hunt is never over. There is and will always be yet another game.
Being on the lookout for games can be tough. You always have to keep your senses about you. I think I see some games there.
I'm J-Rock, and come with me on my journey of game collecting. This is Pickups. Hey everybody, J-Rock here, and welcome to episode 4 of my video game pickups. Now I've noticed a bit of a trend with my pickup videos and that they're getting longer, and this one is my biggest yet, 44 games, so I'm going to try to be concise and to the point and kind of zip through them. Now, doing this YouTube thing, you meet a lot of people, so I'm going to be doing some shout-outs of some people that I've met on YouTube and some friendships that I'm building, and it's awesome. Now, my first pickup was recommended by my buddy, Buried on Mars, who does Let's Plays and reviews on his channel, Buried on Mars. First game that I have to show you is the Sega Genesis Collection for Xbox 360. Now, I saw he recommended this one on his review of Beyond Oasis, which is actually one of my favorite Sega Genesis games. And I just got the Genesis. I didn't have the Genesis growing up, and this disc has 40 Genesis games on it. So I'm thinking playing this is going to help me pick out some games to start boosting my Genesis collection. So check out Buried on Mars and his channel. Now, Buried on Mars introduced me to another group of YouTubers, a pair of brothers, the Cartridge Bros, and here's some games that I got because of them. Now, what they do, the Cartridge Brothers, they do, they're two brothers, player one and player two. Oh, how kitsch. They do reviews of games themselves, and then they do two-player reviews where they both review games. And what really interests me is they do a podcast, and they select a game of the month for the Cartridge Club, and everyone in this Cartridge Club, it's welcome for anyone to join. You play along for the game of the month, and then at the end of the month they do a podcast where they have some guests on and they discuss the game of the month. So it's really interesting. I've caught up on all of them and I'm hooked. So first one I have to show you is BioShock, which was their July game of the month. And I picked up BioShock 1, the limited edition, which has a behind-the-scenes DVD and a soundtrack CD, as well as the game. And I got BioShock 2 at the same place. I picked them both up for $20, so that was pretty decent. Pretty decent when considering this one. The limited edition goes for around $25. And also to do with BioShock, I didn't get to go to Fan Expo, but my wife did, and she picked me up this BioShock print because I've been playing that game, and it's pretty cool. Big Daddy and Little Sisters. I think I'm going to be putting it up here above my workstation, and if you like this art, hold on, let me find the card here. Yeah, if you like this art and want to see more like it, check out Gillian Newland. .com for the artist in question. You can check in the description below for all the information of all the people I'm mentioning here. So, yes, another Cartridge Club game of the month from the Cartridge Brothers was Shadow of the Colossus. So I picked that up because I never had the experience of playing it. So yes, Cartridge Bros, check them out. Okay, now I got a bunch of NES games here. I got 9 NES games, all from my favorite retro gaming store, Super 1-Up Games. And the first two here, I've got 3 here. I'm going to do a little shout out here as well to the N.A.R.C Podcast with Chris Roberts, Rip and John Payne, and they do a podcast. They're the North American Retro Collective. And it's a bunch of guys, like-minded like myself, that are game collectors, mostly Nintendo collectors, and they have some pretty impressive collections. And one thing that John said on one of the podcasts I listened to, and it's a good tip for new collectors, is to set small goals for yourself in your collecting. Like, for example, he suggested, starting collecting, start out with the black box set. So I'm gonna aim to do the black box set. There's around 30 games, I think, in it. So first 3 I have here to show you are Clue Clue Land, Gyromite, everyone's favorite Rob the Robot game, and a Kung Fu. Oh, and here, I forgot to mention, I also got this like 10 NES game holder at Super 1-Up Games. Pretty handy. I think I'm going to have it next to my Nintendo to keep on hand games I have on heavy rotation, my favorites and such. Okay, let's get into some more of these. So those are the black box games. Defender of the Crown, The Legend of Zelda, which is in really great condition. Gold card, as you can see. But yeah, just really great condition. Platoon. Rad Racer. All I need is a power glove, and I can be bad like Lucas. Rescue the Embassy Mission, which becomes recommended by a friend of mine named Tony. And Robin Hood Prince of Thieves, which I had the port on Game Boy growing up, and it was a pretty good, decent game, and I actually beat it. As you can see, it might look like the label's ripped, but no, that is salvageable. So look forward to a tutorial of mine on how to get rid of really stubborn label and sticker residues. So yeah, that's all my NES stuff. I got it all from Super 1-Up Games. Check them out. And also, like I said, check out the N.A.R.C Podcast. Okay. Also, to do with little small goals is I like unlicensed NES games like Tengen carts or Tengen. I call them Tengen. I don't know, Tengen, tomato. As you can see here, I got 19 of them, so I'm missing one, and that's the Tetris one, which is the more pricey of them. So I also decided to start collecting some more unlicensed ones, and I got a couple GameRocker games, and there's 13 of these. Got MiG-29, Soviet fighter, and Quattro Sports. Now the interesting thing about these is on the back there's a little switch here, position A and position B, and what this is for if you have like a PAL console, you'd have to switch to position B, but otherwise if you're North American region, you leave it in position A. A little interesting. Yeah. So yeah, GameRocker games. I'm going to be trying to get more of those in the near future. Okay. A Super Nintendo title. Lethal Enforcers, baby. My brother and I have actually been talking about this a lot recently, Lethal Enforcers, and I saw it at one of my local stores, and that was enough to justify the purchase. Get it? This is called the Konami Justifier. Oh, I'm so clever, aren't I? Breathe it in. And if you don't like this video and subscribe to my channel, then I'm gonna blow this cat's fucking head off. Okay, moving on. Yeah, Lethal Enforcers with the light gun, and it works. One thing that I don't like about this actually is it doesn't make the satisfying non-gun sound that this makes, but it does look fucking cool. So yeah, Lethal Enforcers. Okay, now got a couple N64 games. That is Gek 64, Enter the Gecko. I remember renting this as a youngin', and one level that stuck out in my mind is there's like a Titanic level. They're all like movie themed levels, and one of them is like Titanic, and levels all like turning upside down, and you got to like change your angle, and it's all about perspective and crazy, and probably not as good as I remember it. That's for sure. N64, really polygonal. And the last N64 game I have is Jet Force Gemini, a game that actually escaped me. I never actually played it, so I'm looking forward to it. It's one of the better games on the console, pretty popular. I think I got into PlayStation or so just around when this came out, near the end of the N64 life cycle, so I missed out on it. Okay, now I got some GameCube games, because I really don't have that many, so figured on boosting my collection a little. Batman Vengeance. What can I say? I like Batman. I'm Batman! So I've been buying up some Batman games, and there's tons of them. So, I don't know. Look for some videos in the future of that, of some Batman stuff, because I do dig Batman, and the Arkham games are great, and I've been buying up some Batman games. Also, Star Fox Adventures, which I have not played. Kind of was aware of it, but I found it for a good price, picked it up. So like I said, GameCube collection is very, very sparse. Is that the right word? Sparse? I guess so. It's not a lot. And the thing that I find about GameCube is, like, I collect PlayStation 2, and a lot of the GameCube and PlayStation 2 have the same games. Like, so do I buy like the good games that I already have on PlayStation 2? It's hard. It's a difficult decision to make. So, I boost GameCube whenever I can, but it's a tough decision. And I got a Wii game, Raving Rabbids 2, because my wife and I, we like to play, one of her favorite games is Raving Rabbids, so picked up this one because she enjoys it, and so do I. Okay, I got some Game Boy Advance games. They're not that great, but I'll tell you the reasons why I got them. Ghostbusters. Extreme Ghostbusters, actually, and I was really disappointed with seeing the label on this. It's not that good. There's Ecto 1, which looks awesome. As you can tell, fan of Ghostbusters. Can you tell if I'm a fan? I don't know. Oh, actually, happy 30th anniversary to the Ghostbusters. Yep, that happened the other day. Pretty cool. So yeah, Extreme Ghostbusters. It's not that good of a game, but I like Ghostbusters. I like getting Ghostbusters stuff, so I'm gonna get all the Ghostbusters games. Hey, second Game Boy Advance game is Spy Hunter and Super Sprint. Sort of trying to get into focus there for you people. Yeah, Spy Hunter Super Sprint, and I was really disappointed with this one because they're not ported the same at all. I really enjoy the Super Sprint on the NES, which is a Tengen cart, and just not ported the same at all. Just not the same at all. And I never really played too much Spy Hunter, so I can't really say too much about that, but I played a little bit of it, and it doesn't control very well on this, and bad ports. Bad ports. Okay, now on to some, let's go through some PlayStation 2 stuff. Got a big stack here of PlayStation 2 stuff. Got Crazy Taxi, which the wife saw on the shelf, and she likes this game, so I got it for her, because what can I say? I'm such a romantic guy. Yep. got Deus Ex, The Conspiracy, which actually this is a reacquisition, and I really enjoyed playing this the first time, and the copy that I had, I think it maybe had a scratch or something, and it glitched out at a certain part and I couldn't, continue past it. So I have it again, and I look forward to getting to it eventually. I understand there's a lot more in the series now. There's one for Xbox 360 that's kind of on my list. But yeah, Deus Ex. And I just actually learned how to say that not too long ago. I used to think it was Deuce X. I'm a fucking dummy. Ooh, Dirge of Cerberus, Final Fantasy VII, Vincent Valentine's game. You know what? I fell out of the PS2 when this one came out. I wasn't playing the PlayStation 2 at that point, so I missed out on it. Don't really know what to say about it, but I look forward to playing it because big fan of Final Fantasy VII. Who isn't? A movie game. I always find this interesting to get these little movie games. Fight Club. I didn't know this game existed, but it probably sucks hard ass. Very, very hard ass. So, don't know what to say about that, except I really like the movie, and I'm going to enjoy how they bastardize it in this game. Ooh, here's a twofer. Onimusha and Onimusha 2. Pop those up in your grill. I played Onimusha, the first one, a little bit back in the day when my friend had it. I never had it, so I didn't play it to completion, but it's pretty fun, made by Capcom, the Resident Evil guys. Takes sort of like a Resident Evil spin on like feudal Japan. So it's pretty cool. You're like ninjas and shit, fighting demons. Ooh, here's another movie game I didn't know existed, and that's Reservoir Dogs. Yeah, didn't know this game existed. Saw it, and I just had to get it because I'm a huge Quentin Tarantino fan. And you know what? They have Michael Madsen in this game, and that's about all they have from the movie in this game. I mean, they recreate some of the scenes and they show some behind-the-scenes stuff, but the characters are not really, they don't look very good. They don't look like the original characters in the movie, and a lot of the voice acting is not done well. They got the one guy, two characters that are actually all right is Joe with the gravelly voice and the Mr. Pink played by Steve Buscemi, but even the delivery of the lines aren't true to the movie. For someone, I've watched this movie 100 times. I know how the lines are said, and just hearing them differently is kind of wrong. But yeah, Reservoir Dogs. Played a little bit of it. Maybe I'll do a video on it soon. Okay. Star Trek Encounters. Also by Bethesda. If you remember my last pickup video, if you had seen it, I got Star Trek Conquest by them. And that's like a turn-based strategy game. It's sort of like board game elements to it. But this one's more of a shoot-'em-up arcade style game where you're flying around, sort of third person of your ship, kind of a bird's eye view third person, if that makes any sense, and you know shooting stuff. I played the tutorial stages, haven't got too much into it yet though. But Star Trek is one of those franchises where I want to get all the games for those because it's just interesting. Oh, okay, here's a real shotgun blast of I don't know what. Siphon Filter games. Siphon Filter, the Omega Strain, Siphon Filter, Dark Mirror, and Siphon Filter, Logan Shadow. Oh man, I don't even know how many they made in this series, but it sure is a hell of a lot. The last I checked, they had 3 on the PS1, and I thought that was even too many. I thought that, by halfway through the second one, and then the third one was definitely like they were rushing that shit out to sell it. Just seemed like the same old thing, and got a little sloppier after a while. But Yeah, I really enjoyed the first two in the series are good. And yeah, after that, I mean, it's pretty much clones. I don't know what to say about these PS2 ones. Apparently, you know, this one won IGN's 2006 Game of the Year, and this one is 2007 Game of the Year. So I don't know, do they know what they're talking about? They're game guys. I don't know. But yeah, Siphon Filter. I don't know how many there are, but I got a lot of them this time. Okay, here's one for ya. Dun 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 dun. Another Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle game. Yeah, been buying up Ninja Turtle games too, because I'm a big turtle guy. Who isn't from the 80s, am I right? But yeah, I don't know what to say about that, except this one actually is 2 players. Remember last time, my first pickup video, there's just a 1-player one. Lame. But yeah, yay, so you can play with your friends. Yay, I can play with my friend. Ooh, and the last PS2 game I have to show you here is The Thing. Another movie game that I didn't actually get a chance to play this, and always kind of wanted to. This was during the this came out during the decline of my PS2 interest, and so yeah, The Thing. Hey, didn't Buried on Mars do a review of The Thing? Yes, he did.
The back cover promises intense action and horror, just like the intense guy on the front who's, you know, in the cold and it's got the wind and the snow and the ice all blowing in his face. Or maybe he's taking a crunch in his parka.
Check him out. Check the link in the description there, and seriously check out his channel. He did a review of a couple things that I've mentioned. Beyond Oasis, which is actually on the Sega Genesis collection, and he did a review of The Thing, so check him out. Okay, now finally I have a little bit of Xbox 360 games going on here, so let's fire through them. This one's going pretty smooth. I'm getting pretty smooth at these pickup videos. Not too long. Assassin's Creed. What can I say? A franchise that I have not had the opportunity to play yet. Well, I haven't popped it in and played it yet. You know, there's so many other things going on in life. There's work, there's marriage, there's NES, and, you know, 10 other consoles that I have, so Assassin's Creed, sure I'll get to you someday. Maybe I'll even have the whole series before I even get to them. Brothers in Arms, Hell's Highway. Don't know what to say about that, except I just found out that it's actually a pretty long-running series. There was a few games on the PS2. So, first-person shooter, World War II. I don't know. Take your pick. Speaking of, Call of Duty 3. Ooh, and this one has the bonus soundtrack inside. I can't wait to rip the MP3s off that and put it on my fucking phone or whatever device I listen to music with, MP3 player, or, you know. Ooh, I'm gonna burn some CDs or make some mixtapes. I'm a jerk. So yeah, Call of Duty 3. Ooh, and Call of Juarez, Bound in Blood, which, you know, first-person shooter set in Western times. Big fan of Westerns, a big Clint Eastwood fan in his early movies. You know, High Plains Drifter, The Man with No Name, stuff like that. And I've been really into Hell on Wheels on AMC lately, so kind of on a Western kick. So when I saw this first-person shooter Western, picked it up. Call of Juarez. It's pretty fun so far. It's cool to get to fire those old guns. Devil May Cry 4. Also a series that I never really got into. So probably going to be getting the whole series before I start into these. So it seems like, you know, this is the 4th one. I got 3 prior. Dragon Age Origins. Don't know what to say about that. Is it like Skyrim? I don't know. I haven't even played it yet. So, I don't know. We'll see what that's all about. Hopefully there's dragons. Or else that's false advertising. Ooh, Prince of Persia, The Forgotten Sands. Remember, I think my last pickup video I had Prince of Persia, and I had mentioned that there's several sequels. Well, this is one of them. Okay, and last game I have to show you here, and it's not really even like a big game or anything. I should have saved a good one for last, but I don't know. John Woo presents Stranglehold, starring Chow Yun-fat. Isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting? Yeah, another game that uses an actor. Go figure. But yeah, apparently this is directed by John Woo, so that's pretty interesting that these days you see directors doing video games. That's it's a sign of the times, folks. So I'll check that out eventually. Everything is eventually. So yeah, this has been a huge episode. Thanks for sticking with me. Gone through 44 games and stuff, and you know, and a peripheral gun, Konami Justifier. Sounds so cool. And so yeah, mentioned all these games, and also the people that I've mentioned. I will tell you about them again. Check out Buried on Mars. He does Let's Plays as well as reviews. And also he shows you how to do a little setup of your HD, an HD setup for your retro gaming and stuff. Pretty handy. And also, Cartridge Brothers, Player 1 and Player 2. Check them out on Twitter and also on their forums and their podcast, the Cartridge Club Podcast, where, again, they pick a game of the month where even some of their friends pick it, people that are involved in the community. You know, it's not just them picking it. You can vote if you want to. Go to their site, sign up, and you can vote on what is the next game of the month. And they play through it, and they do a podcast on it. So check them out, Cartridge Bros. And also check out the North American Retro Collective N.A.R.C Podcast, which is hosted by Rip, Chris Roberts, and John Payne, who are NES collectors. So this has been Jrock with my video game pickups, episode 4, 44 games. Whoa, 44, episode 4. Mine. Check you later, folks. And keep on rocking them games.